Like, this will work in
Oh yeah, Cham hates Reapers. Or maybe he knows Cham likes to open with Roaches.
Right. It's a very predictable spot.
At the peak of the Reaper madness, I think one of the biggest ways that Zergs would deal with it was like getting the big links around. Is like you just flood out insane links, even though it seemed counterintuitive because the Reapers were good against them with the splash. But it was like, no, if you could get this around just once, then it's over. You're like super far ahead. And going Roaches wasn't like considered that great because guys like the other like, no, I can actually throw 40 grenades at some point and one shot a Roach every 5 seconds. And thank God that got changed. Oof. Yeah, those were the dark days. In the right side of Automaton, we have our blue Zerg player. He is Cham. John, introduce this character.
You got it, bud.
All right. In the left side of the map, our red Terran player. He is Kelazur.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I was saying.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get this bread.
Let's get this bread. I don't hear people saying this. Where are you picking this up from? What is?
It's everywhere.
Is it really?
It's everywhere.
Is
You
it
say,
like
let's
crap?
get this bread, and you put the emoji there. That's how you do it, Jeff.
Premium cereal?
Gotta keep up with the kids. Yeah. Dabbing, T-posing, they're out. Old news. All right.
T-posing.
Yeah.
Obtain the grain? Is this really something that's happening?
Yes.
What am I watching that I'm not seeing any of it? It's more StarCraft, I guess.
Where did you hear that? You just pulled Obtain the Green. Yeah, that's another one.
Producer said in my ear.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
What are you watching where this happens? Are you watching... You're watching young people play video games, aren't you?
No. I just probably spend the average amount of time a 25-year-old would on social media.
Ugh. 25.
Well, I've only got
1/3 the age of our
I've
toes.
only got 23 days left of that.
Hey.
And I become a dinosaur.
Nice. 26. Upper 20s. Don't worry. You'll be fine. All right.
This premium it was a full first.
Two
We're gonna try
enemies
dodge the
detected.
Reaper, and that's about it. But the SCV scout receives flames, so
I almost broke it. I almost stopped it.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm not. It's been a long day, so the more you want to concentrate, the better it is.
I'm so tired of it.
I was like, all right, so he's like, this is the vanilla opening. This is like, I was like, yeah, that's good. I'll stick to only making my jokes really annoys. There's like 10 people like every time we talk, gosh, all he does is joke. Yeah, but when I try to commentate Nate's murder roll, what do you want me to do?
Control goalie Fear Dragon down at 80th.
Yeah, but I won't get the white knight. Nobody else has my rifle. I'm into your answer. Not a single person.
There's no Reddit thread talking about it.
I would love that though. Nate, let's get on Nate.
One more.
That's the last one.
Finally, spread the pain to somebody else.
Chanman 463 says that was a funny tease. There still are the Chanman accounts on Reddit, dude. They're still posting. They're serious accounts too now. They just talk. There's like Chanman 185 and
He's built his own Reddit AI platform, neural network, and maps out what people saying SC Reddit threads. Man, Terran players, how about their wine? Ho ho, hee ha ha. Aren't Protoss players cheesy? Cheesy? I thought I wouldn't cry when I got Grandmaster.
hey man, that's gotta be fake this time, right?
No, it's good. It's a good build. So it does cost 150, 150. If you were going
Two
to fake,
enemies
it would be better to
detected.
stay close. It's just cheaper.
Okay. Well then, what do you? I mean, I think you talked about this last time.
I think the real key is just being able to play it really. Work players almost always have
Damn.
even if you get close.
Couldn't finish it off. I can do it. I couldn't defeat it.
Almost willfully what's going on. Overlord sees this. There is no scenario
Akihiko has defeated an enemy.
for crawlers, because you're probably going to open against the speed bases anyway. He's helping.
Great attack.
little bit of
Here's a chance. Let's get him. Get back here, you son of a...
What a stunning victory.
It's like a weird campaign. If you're playing the Hellion tutorial right now, it's like, well, you just move forward and then attack.
How does Cham forget speed on this? That's like...
I don't know. I know Europeans are sometimes use on NA to troll, but that's about it.
It's like getting pretty far out of your house. You're like, gosh dang it, I forgot my pants again. Oh. That's why it's so cold.
Like, I guess the point is the Banshee does a little bit of poking, and then if it needs to go home, it can go home faster. Is why you get the speed first.
Yeah, I just got a speed actually.
And it's such a long upgrade to do that I guess it just comes like that. What'd you get to?
So, Fear Dragon 64 says, hey Jeff, I know Nate has been bullying you, but you're doing great.
Oh,
Really nice.
Dragon,
Thank you, Fear Dragon. I'm gonna like that tweet right now.
he's just trying to get that sweet weed.
Be careful. There are 4 enemies.
Yeah.
How do you like to do me?
I mean, especially, that's a pretty good idea of how Champ plays. I'll say the big difference in this game. Obviously, Reaper, that means
Whoa, nice!
feel Cham's defensive should be a lot better.
Good job, Takeba.
Because that was one of the hard parts. He was trying to take that.
Here's our chance for an all-out attack.
So,
Shoot me at him. That was a close one.
Roaches with speed on creep move pretty damn fast compared to the Cyclones. Very hard to disengage as a Terran if you want to make those plays. And that's where these Banshees, I guess, get a little bit more utility. They pick off a drone or two.
Is the speed Banshee the fastest thing in the game?
No. Pretty sure nothing is faster than a speed link. The closest you get to that is a Zealot Charger.
Be careful. There are 4 enemies.
Speed Banshee, I think, is right up there. I do think it's right here.
Take the enemy down.
Alright, Chad. Let's figure it out. Let's see charging.
Hellions get together.
Hey, are you all right?
Relative to you have an idea in your mind.
Great recovery.
Creating fire.
Here.
Lore-wise, the way I have
2 remain.
2 to go. You're pretty good too, Takeba.
Aki Beagle's in danger. Not good. Takeba's down.
people ask the same question. How do you
Great recovery.
jets on them? Fly through outer space. Like, rotors fly through space. Air
Only 1 left. Are you all right?
Yeah, because somebody asked how in the cutscenes, there's a cutscene like Brutal.
Now, strike back.
Through space.
That's the
How
last
is it
one.
possible you can't fly through space with no air? And they're like, oh yeah,
That's how it's done.
that's how Overlords float. Because obviously they
I've been waiting for this.
I would have
Well, I guess that's one way to go. We did it.
atomic particles around that we can't actually see. You can't perceive them, but they are out there.
Yeah.
And then I would have actually gone further, but like they also echolocate in outer space. It was like what sound is transfer out there? I'm like, no, but theirs does. they're just farting around and flapping their wings. Just bouncing off the moon and the sun and a couple stars.
The Banshee answer was less interesting. I think the dev response was like, oh yeah, well they just have separate engines. People were like, why can't they use the separate engine? Damn it, well I'd get a Banshee speed upgrade. And roaches and hydras coming off creep, that's never gonna go well.
I guess I know I'm attending the next BlizzCon panel about lore and StarCraft. Yeah, here's a question for you. How come disruptors don't shoot Archons actually?
They never know.
An assault by 2 enemies. Stand strong.
No, kill both like 3 seconds.
No reason to have it, I guess. Invisible.
Yeah.
That's a real fight right there.
Very important to keep your I am paying way too much attention to relative speed of the billion.
They're moving the same.
Slow down by the cycle.
This thing won't be only one left.
Last one.
Yeah. Bring him back.
Damn. They couldn't finish it up.
Always worth it to repair.
What a stunning victory.
Tapped by that. Now the ducks start. Just keep securing base. Fourth base is actually quite late. I guess he did the gold thing first.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really do as much for Mech. I guess because of the composition, it is a bit more mineral heavy than gas than usual. Yeah. This is where the weakness of the strategy really starts to come out. This is what I was talking about. He has a really good ground army, and you just spam those guns. You got 5 Vipers. And that's really
I like the mobility of the mech, right? Like that army.
Yeah, it is.
To have both the Vipers, the Roaches, and the Hydras together, and then they have to go back and get more energy. If you just keep doing little hit squads and grab the bases and prep the drones.
Yeah, that's the most fun part about playing this comp, is that you can kind of run around, whereas if you were using tanks and cores, eventually it's like, no, I get to fight you where I want to fight you. Spam the abduct, blinding clouds.
Cham is hilariously rich, by the way, though. He's actually got 2K, and he's just maxing his whole life, which is pretty good.
Very well. I really think now a situation here, like, okay, you did get
Wow.
Banshee's just eviscerate.
He's respecting the crap out of us, but we know there's no overseer. I would have scanned ahead and just kept going.
There's just one overseer, and it's a slow boy. I think if your Kellizer just grabbing those is huge. Like right now, as the Vipers come across the side, if he was able to snipe 1 or 2 of those, absolutely amazing. But he's got plenty of energy, gonna keep conducting. And is this just the weird slow grind? Kellizer gets Champ to kill all of his own buildings via consume.
Yeah. Good happen.
3,000 IQ.
Okay, this is a big measure.
This is where all those
Face out the tanks and go for it. This guy's dead. And Cham's not even fighting it. He's just saying, oh, we gotta get more. He's maxed out.
His Viper's out of energy.
Yeah. Mind Cloud.
3 enemies
got a pretty good
detected.
grip on them.
Strike first.
Yeah, he's looking great. I mean, there's still that vibe on the north side, like there's some money for the fight, but oh yeah.
But like you said, fighting back to creep, like that's a full avenue of creep that just got evaporated. We're not seeing cleans make their way back out there, put it back down either.
And look at this, he's got version on all those overseers. He's always gonna fly in front of your army. That speed up rate.
I can do it.
Cyclone will never automatically target
Couldn't defeat it.
on any one unit lock. Any of the front line. Cyclone's always gonna lock on to it.
Let's go.
Still
Seen a lot of
alive.
having support from you guys too. Appreciate it. And some tough guy.
All right.
I keep saying, you have to go in the back guys.
Please hit. Jeez, that was fast. Only one more. Just one more.
Still alive.
That was a close one.
There are people that literally thought that happened. And I'm like, that's the power of broadcasting. It's crazy.
Well, Stefano would have won every single GSL for the last 4 years.
It's just weird how you can alter the reality. Oh, they hear that? Oh, well,
It takes
all
a
the
lot
time.
more energy to get rid of people's impression of fake news, Jeff.
Yes, my skill level has
Army
increased.
gets intercepted, but who caught who here? Kind of a again, the next army always
got a lot of hype.
Yeah. Still making bandages.
Not seeing enough motion over
Came up to fly again. He spent his bank. That's a good army though, right there. If he can just keep abducting everything forever. See now, what killed the hatchery? Did he lock onto it?
Yeah, he was locked.
Oh, okay.
Abduct does not actually break the lock on.
Oh, they shoot from air and stuff.
Yeah, Reaper grenades don't break it either. No, I mean the Reaper grenade won't break lockup. So he pulls in the Cyclone still gets the last shot off it because of the hash rate.
Nice action-packed back and forth, though.
He's getting lib range as well. Really helpful.
He's the prince of Latin America. I think he's still got to get the special. He looks good on day one.
It really feels like Killers are around. I don't really know what Cham does here because he's been mining some bases for so long and Killers is like, alright, I'm just grabbing it and being so efficient.
It's the expanding behind and how just constantly fighting this army that I really like about it. I think the moment it gives up its aggression, and this is what can happen. This army defending is not as good. So you get on top of the base and start chopping that down. Its individual cyclones coming out, not very good. But he is starting to mix in more tanks and more.
Yeah, I think getting a few power units.
Whoa, is that 4 liberating time?
Yep.
Yes, it is. Whoa. Then makes the duck card too. You want this.
That's a rare form. Teach it a lesson.
Very far away.
Not a good fight for Cham. And there was the exit mode kind of rough too.
Yeah, because you can't
All
really
right.
stand and fight against even the chasing aliens. The liberators
Roger.
teach you
I'll attempt to analyze the enemy.
The fight basically lasts as long as you have hyper energy. It's like as soon as
What
you
a
put in
stunning
duct tape,
victory.
it's over.
That's got to be really hard. Just got to go home and do something about this. And then here's that run by we're talking about.
Another one by going northwest.
Down to 50-ish drone. This base is going to get shut down.
Yeah, just
This is the heart of Cham, so he might be GG here pretty soon.
looks like you just like shift clicked the lock on spam to each hash rate. It's like, all right, time home, boys.
This is cool. This is a very cool side. And I'll tell you what, I hope nobody's looking at this and thinking this is easy, because it's
No,
super not.
like
Like,
3 seconds if you mess this up. It's really fun style to play though.
fun to play, high
I have a
PM,
bad feeling.
the decision making that he's making constantly is really cool. It's also, I mean, that's the thing. Like a lot of people are like, what are you talking? Just aim moves. No, he is not. Absolutely not. It's tough.
This is probably the most fun comp to play. It is very flimsy. Like you can still kind of do like the tank Thor, Hellion.
I feel a
like,
strong
Vikings,
presence.
try to maybe use,
It
like,
must be
Ravens
death.
and Play that out, but the mobility gains here really let you push the Zerg to the limit. And this isn't even, I wouldn't even call this like a giant map either. Running around small alleys, making a lot happen, but good of Dogstare, gets a lot of Cyclones.
Love it.
This is too much for you. Withdraw.
He's eased off the gas and liberated a little bit. The amount that he has even right now is just like the fight starts to look good for Cham, and then they all siege up, and as you said, the Vipers run out of energy, and it's like, oh, you're done. You have to get out of here.
Now Killers have secured all these additional bases, locking them down. Look at this display of wealth. Put 2 sensor towers on the screen.
Just to get that little extra French.
Like, this is the Venn diagram of where you die.
It used to be, it was like 2017 special. It used to have like 9 sensor towers. And some of them were so funny. It was just like circles and circles.
Back in the Ravens.
Three enemies present.
Do you have enough
Don't
ducks
get
to grab
careless.
every liberator? No, because riders are going to get chipped out.
So cool.
Another attack.
Yes, excellent.
Don't worry.
Nice.
Lockdown cooldown will be over in a few seconds.
Yep. That time, it was
Iori has defeated an
feel the
enemy.
lull, right? Like the Viper right now getting
That's the
energy
last
back.
one.
In that time, there's still
Couldn't
much
defeat it.
Okay, everything's going according to plan.
Harder to engage/disengage. But as long as the liberators are here, it's like, how much of this are you going to pull in? Yeah, and I love it too. The liberators that get pulled immediately sieges those two because he's like, all right, you want to try and kill these? Go for it. It's like, oh, still shooting.
Yeah, the Skeletor behind his supply, but there's a head supply, and he's got a massive tank. He's sitting on 80 workers from that, by the way. Which is the other thing this comp can do pretty well. It's not one big juggernaut.
Yeah, it's because you don't really
Uppercut.
max. You don't really max out with it. You're constantly trading, which allows you to have more.
Cham's been holding on, and he's got a bank too, and he's done a good job, but it's just been, the fights have always been on his side of the map. And it's actually impressive how well he's done, but I don't see his endgame scenario. He has to like clobber an army, and how do you clobber this? How do you get around it when you're on the back foot the entire time?
Keep taking weird half fights because Keller's never prepared his mech units, maybe?
Yeah.
And then it's like, yes, force the giant fight when you only have half your hit points.
It would have to be on the Terran side of the map, though. If you're not even killing expansion, you have to get on top of production. That's it, by the way. The only way Chan wins this game that I can tell is that he gets somehow on top of the production.
Yeah.
And he's nowhere near it, so it's a weird thing to say, but that is it, in my opinion.
He's going to push in through to a few of these Liberators and grabs a lot of the Cyclones, pushing through a line of the tanks at the same time, but bleeding out a lot as well. And we've got a Liberator that's sieged up over here, picked off a good few drones. These Cyclones, they got the hatch, but they will all die. There you go, that's a good trade for Jam. But like you said, in control, he has so much production. I think you do like 7 or 8 factories off of this.
Wow. He's building 7 Liberators at a time, too. 7 Liberators at a time!
Two enemies detected.
The only counter is just more Viper energy.
Take the enemy down.
All of his buildings. Spending time doing that, rebuilding his stuff.
The other thing here too is he's just holding on. He's rebuilding bases, he's rebuilding drones, and he's rebuilding defense. But Keller's literally got 6, 7,
Okay, everything's going according to plan.
Terrans. And I know that some of them are mined out and stuff, so it's not truly 8 bases mined or whatever. But guys, he's going through 8 bases. He's dropping mules. He's got 8 freaking SCVs. Yep. 32 drones.
He's got the base south.
You drop all your drones there forever. Yep. By the time Chance, if he ever gets to it, he's like, dang it, that one. That would be like game. It is game.
Two enemies.
Globe.
Take the enemy down.
And Chan
That's
now
the
playing
last
desperation.
one.
I was about to say he's going to try to move.
Keep up the good work.
A lot of Hydras. There you go.
This should be the peak.
He's gonna push into a lot of Liberators. Oh goodness.
He gets it.
Did clean up a lot. I mean, it does take time to rebuild the mech units, but the next wave is gonna chip off more. If he gets, I guess he's gonna go for it. He's trying to get to that production we were talking about, Jeff.
The only scenario, man.
Raise the wall, siege the lib, and
Hold the door. Hold the door.
he has Winter for nothing.
That to me is just the nightmare scenario. The production cycle of the mech up there is insane. It's 7 factories, 7 Liberators at a time. But here he is, coming to knock him.
Now you gotta bring those libs back. Siege ram. Those Vipers made really good plays earlier too. That's, oh my goodness, knock him out.
Man's trying. Can he get there? He's got more coming up. There's even Lings here, and I think they're still slow, actually, funny enough.
Get one shot. He missed his chance. This was the opportunity he was looking for. He got it, and it seems like trying to stabilize production. He killed a base that had no visual or gas. He still got all this.
It was all about the production. If he could somehow get on the production and keep snowballing out units, I mean, it's just planetary smashing factors.
Yeah, you get the Hydras up there. You just right-click on the factories, kill them all very quickly, and that's it. Terrans didn't spend their entire bank trying to rebuild just the production. GG! Kellizer does it! Makes it out of first place in this group after
Very guess.
3 enemies
fun game.
present. Don't get careless.
But Kellizer is, I think, what most people would have picked to be the favorite in this group. And like I said, the only reason I had to run a lower opinion was his close series with Vindicta was a little bit less impressive, but as I said, probably warming up.
All right.
Last 2 games with Chan.
it looked really good. Super fun armor cop. Why? The controls, picking them apart.
Just 2 more to go.
It is a cool contrast. Different ways you can play match. Lower bracket match.
Couldn't finish it up.
A little bit slower, but with
Only one more.
and that kind of variety what makes that style so good.
Just one more. Take the enemy down.
That means that Jam
Okay, everything's going according to plan.
1 versus 1 to decide who will make it out in second place.
WCS Americas. Coming up next.
Enemies present. Don't get careless. All right.
That one just won't die.
2 remain. Defeat it! Only one more. Just one more.
Did it.
Enemies present. Don't get careless. Yes, excellent attack.
Let's go.
Akihiko has defeated an enemy.
Keep it up.
I couldn't finish it off.
Damn, I couldn't finish it off.
I can do it. That was easy. Two powerful enemies have been detected. All right. Roger. I'll attempt to analyze the enemy. The enemy's vulnerable. Attack again.
Can't lose.
Amazing, Senpai!
Still alive.
Yeah!
Good job, Takeba.
Defeated! It seems to have multiple weaknesses.
Damn, I couldn't finish it off.
strike? Come on, stand up!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WCS Winter. We have one series left over. One series to finish out the day. Who will be the second player to advance on from this group? We'll have to find out just a little bit. My name is Fear Dragon. I'm joined by In Control here at the desk. And In Control, I have the most important question. When you decide to spawn as Terran, as I do know you're known as the Watcher sometimes in your latter games.
Yep.
And you lose the game, but your opponent offensive GGs.
Okay.
You float your command center to the corner of the map, as is
Of course.
indicated through Artosis' rules of conduct.
Yes.
Fighting. But doesn't it look a lot better when you actually have the special War Chest Command Center skin to strike fear into your opponent to make them feel less confident about actually engaging your command center for just a little bit longer?
Bigger satellite dish makes them kind of ponder if you're not doing something over there. And of course, the special forces suggest that maybe this is all part of a bigger plan in general.
So guys, if you are interested in that exact strategy, consider picking up a war chest. 25% of the proceeds go toward esports initiatives for 2019. Definitely absolutely worth it. And with that being said, let's talk about this next series.
Before we do, though, I have another tidbit from the general chat of Battle.net. Can I share some wisdom that's kind of spewed there?
Well, I do have to ask. I know that Twitch chat is GM.
Yeah.
What is general chat?
It's another level. It's kind of a different dimensional thing.
They're basically all codecs?
Yes. So Manbrave in general chat is having a conversation with someone that's talking about it. They're actually just in all caps saying they need to study. To which he replies, or she, don't study too much. You will never forget anything, or you will forget
Ooh, I found
everything
some money.
Overstudy. And he misspelled about most of those words. So
Overstudied the words?
yeah, might have overstudied. So this is a guy speaking from experience. So just, want to share
Okay, then I'll look around some more.
that. Or do study.
Two enemies detected.
Over
Help me!
for get in their own head.
This thing won't
I'm
give
doing my
up!
best to
I know. I'm trying. I'm just trying to. I'm imagining what it sounds. What do you think?
Akihiko has
I know
defeated
all
an
this
enemy.
information perfectly, and when it comes to the test,
Here's our chance.
What do you study that after that all? Nothing.
I did study.
Okay, everything's going according to plan.
I feel like that's oversleeping as opposed to.
But it was oversleeping due to overstudying.
No, it wasn't overstudying. It was late studying, right?
That's true.
Should have started.
Actually, I should
earlier.
have started earlier. I did start studying that. Starting down here at
And
the
of
bottom,
my own heart.
right-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Terran player. He is Vindicta. He is clone spawning up here in the top left-hand corner of the map. We have the red Zerg player from Team Chivo. It is Cham.
Excited to hear.
Three enemies. We're at a disadvantage.
Eliminate him. On that radar, so to speak. I don't know if he's going to go to the top 6 or something like that, but he can qualify to that second group stage. No big deal.
Absolutely. He has been one of those players that's qualified for season challenger in the past, but never been able to make deep runs or anything like that. So this would be a big deal for him. He's able to beat someone like that. And conversely, it would be really disappointing for a player like
Do it again!
who you were talking about.
dead. Couldn't finish it off.
It's a tough spot. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a tough spot to find yourself in. When you get to
Good
the
job,
level,
Takeba.
people will absolutely talk.
Good job, Takeba. Only
Pro
one
gamers
remaining.
never
Here's our
really
chance for an
qualifying
all-out
stuff,
attack.
not really doing that much.
Bloody
Look at
hell.
Tom even take it back. But when you're someone, and I would say it's almost mostly unfair for Chance because he's like, he's not Snoot level was or anything like that, right? But he is very good, but hasn't won tournaments. So, but he's at the cusp. Like, hey, to get eliminated here, that's really disappointing.
Yeah, I actually had a great conversation with M. Canning about this at Philadelphia because he faced off versus Neeb, and before the match he was saying, you know, this kind of sucks for Neeb because if he wins, then he has nothing gained whatsoever. It's basic, and if he loses, he has everything to lose. People will cite that match, and I definitely part of the reason people continue to cite that match as M. Canning beating Neeb, and how that was a really big result, and how that was really bad for Neeb and great for M. Canning.
Yeah.
It's a win. Sorry, it's a lose or do nothing situation.
Yeah. And that is a position of privilege, though, right? Like, if Neve was the worst player that didn't have as much success, then nobody would have that kind of
Exactly.
tough opinion for him. But
Two
the
enemies
expectation for
detected.
Sarah
Strike
this year is, like, his first loss will be the City.
Last
Maybe this is
one.
Take the enemy
In
down.
this situation between
What a
these two
stunning
players,
victory.
Cham's definitely going to be the one with the crown. We'll see if he can keep it as we end up seeing Throne moving over here with a couple of lings. And, okay. I was like, wait a second, did he just fake a third with the drone there? No. Sends it back.
It was a heavy investment with the Queens.
Yeah, and I guess...
One enemy detected.
I
Strike
think the
first.
Hellion are going to stand at home. This might be because King Coke's
Take the enemy down.
two entrances. You
What a
can't
stunning
really fully
victory.
wall
Yeah.
super early on, so...
By the way, that Overlord spot, I'm just now noticing that somehow. I mean, I played this map a bunch, so but somehow I'm looking at this and I'm going, map makers, can we have a talk? Look at that
It doesn't
spot.
have it doesn't have a closer Overlord spot though, right? Or no,
It doesn't need a close one. That sees both the chokes.
it sees both the chokes, so it doesn't see like the gas geysers and stuff. I'm thinking
Oh,
from a
come
I'm
on.
thinking from a Protoss perspective. What's so bad about it?
You've been hurt. You look at that and you say it's not so bad. It sees everything.
Wouldn't it be the opposite? Wouldn't you have been the one that feels hurt?
I've come
Feels
full
offended?
circle. I've been hurt so bad that it's now upsetting me. It's like the Protoss suffered
Ooh.
in 2009.
Let's talk really quickly about the custom armory coming down. Hellions, there's 5 of them out of the map. This is like one of those kind of old school pushes that we used to see a long time ago.
Help me.
You're pretty good too, Takeba.
Yeah.
Good job, Takeba. Only one remaining. Here's our
Don't get me wrong,
chance for an
but
all-out
it's like
attack.
literally
Bloody Adam.
Just prevent some running back. I guess
That was easy.
mostly relying on there. It's going to be a lot of lings, and the Hellions are going to have to deal with that. They turn into Hellbats eventually, but
Three Mirage, one Marine.
yeah,
Look at the map.
I'm trying to find it. There it is.
Look at one Marine. He messed up. This is gonna get wrecked. Nice try, Vindicta.
Can't kill the
No.
the Overlords
No.
anymore.
No, the one Marine just adds so much DPS to it, man. It's the little lieutenant, so he fires up Marauders. They gotta guard their brother.
Viking gonna be able to land and try and get a little bit extra damage done. The Lings getting in on top of these Hellbats, but obviously not doing too much so far. The Queens not actually getting messed with too much right now. The Marauders on the opposite side of the Hellbats. The Viking gets picked off, and this army is just charging headfirst into the natural.
Yep. That gets quite low, though. It does end up dying. Good spread on the Queens. They're getting chased in the background. He needs to save the drones. So far, this has been a great defense for Champ. It's gonna be a good defense, but if he gets some drones killed, it'll be a problem. Now he's taking some AoE damage, though, from his flames.
Yeah, the Lings are cleaning everything up, and like you said, that is it. And again, I want to point out 0 workers killed by Vindicta.
Be careful. There are 4
That
enemies.
is,
Not bueno.
yeah, and of course you delay a lot of those things behind us. Now, I like that Vindicta started up other things behind this. He got up a command center during that attack. He got up a what, or started up an armory upgrade, but
No, though.
Iori has
Exactly.
defeated an
So it is
enemy.
going to be mech again. The Banshee speed upgrade I've been on board with, but doing it after a Hellbat
alive.
attack with Marauders
I can
is a
do
little
it.
bit less.
well, I'm not sure if it's going to actually too much time to fan out. Okay. Nidus are coming down.
Yes! Takiba defeated another enemy.
Shutting down
good too,
any
Takiba.
massive that Vindicta even has. Can we get some scouting information
Yeah.
about this?
Here's our chance for another attack.
Not looking good, but I like
That was a close one.
Technically back home for Vindicta, not today, as Ruby was saying. The Nidus is a pretty quick answer. And in fact, okay, here's fine, but I would have even liked inside the main.
Well, as I learned today, you're confirmed with Nathanius. Nidus is going to take even less damage versus the Banshee, because the Banshee has 2 attacks. Armor applies twice. Third base getting lifted up. Cham saying, went ahead, don't let your opponent catch back up.
That's
Yes! My
It's a lesser known or
I just liked your lack of confidence saying that. You're like, went ahead!
don't let your opponent catch back up.
Yeah. I read that children's book once.
Bait Nidus Worm in the main base only unloads a couple of roaches, but it does put time to go to the natural. Hasn't killed that many workers just yet, and we're starting to see another Nidus Worm come down. This one's immediately being jumped on top of, and I still think this is okay.
Hey,
So,
there's some cash
yeah,
in here.
78 workers. Cham
Hey,
still
some
has
cash.
a big
Nice.
behind this like thing. And having Hive Tech nearly or about halfway finished up, very, very nice. We're seeing a scan before the third command center can land. These mech compositions are pretty costly, so it's going to take Vindicta a little bit more work to try and get that economy back up, so we can actually start pumping out units from all these factories.
That Comet 2 base, tough spot to be. And the third was, I mean, if your third would be an orbital. Again, this is the part that I'm a little bit. Well, we'll see. Maybe you can drag this back. He's only down 25 or so supply. Banshees do have some ability here. I guess the part you hear me waffling on is the decision to take a third kill mech off of a failed timing attack. He does big economic damage there. He probably has the space to do it. But I don't know. What do you do? Go bio from there? Probably not. So he's in a tough spot.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of hard in general to bounce back from a failed timing attack. Well, the Banshees do have to retreat back home. I do have to say one thing that's going actually quite well for Vindicta is the fact that when you go for that fast armory and start investing in those upgrades nice and early on, you can get a nice little upgrade lead versus a Zerg player who's going to have a hive done before he has an evolution chamber started, which is not something you see every day. That is going to be a very solid upgrade lead for Vindicta with a big scary mech army on the way. Might not be so big or scary though. Just rooting out a lot of units.
3 enemies
Cyclones,
present.
actually
Don't
trying
get
to some
careless.
good damage done, and
You're being
I mean, of course,
targeted.
we are still waiting to see the ads on that and stuff, but not necessarily a super a lot of cyclones, a lot of hellions.
I think the best news for Vindicta, in my opinion, is that Cham in that time is only up on 4 bases, going on 5.
Yeah, 5.
But even then, 5 bases, and he's adding a lot of stacked defenses, which I'm actually, I'm okay with because of how fast the Banshees are, obviously, but that is an incurred tax, right? Like, these Banshees don't really care about getting hit by a Spore Crawler, as long as they're back. They either kill the Spore Crawler or just the damage output from it is less than what they're going to do to the drones. A couple of volleys to put off. But that's kind of neither here nor there, and I heard you saying this earlier. The Bank of Vindicta is low. He's going to go for this malign 4th base, and we've seen this be a bit of a death trap, right? Like, the 4th base you got to have really established to ever get hold of.
And these roaches and hydras going to be poking on forward. The Overseer is here to start cleaning up those Banshees, even parasitic bombs being thrown down. So one more Banshee ends up falling before this base has to back on up. And Cham, pretty content with that damage you just did.
Yeah, he just killed a bunch of key units, and the tank on the high ground is like the only reason Vindicta didn't just die there, basically. He's gonna go back down here and try it again. The other nice thing here too, though, is that it's just that every time you fight, you need 2 or 3 of them to die. Because if they die, that prolongs and opens up the amount of time it takes between their next spell usage, as they have to get remade and suck down some energy. It also attacks the Zerg a little bit.
Yeah, spend that little gas bank that the Zerg player is trying to save up for maybe some other Hive Tech units. Speaking of Hive Tech units, we do have a Spire on the way, and with Hive Tech already finished up a while ago. And, oh, actually, a couple of the Vipers finally going down there. Nice target fires with the Cyclones. Those are manual target fires to get those Vipers.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. That's good.
And Siege Tank able to get some damage done, but it is finally going to go down. And this time, I don't think that there's any saving grace backup Siege Tank. So I guess there's one further back. That's
two, actually.
Oh yeah, there's another in the Planetary Fortress, but the space is going to be forced. Actually, no, it's killed.
Fourth base has been taken, but behind that is just a orbital. So what we didn't just see, but had another tank died and is not safeguarding that base any longer. Well, that's a dead orbital and it's a dead, fully saturated base. And then basically Vindicta's on one mining base, which would be just death. More, I mean, again, it's kind of these kind of games are kind of funny because he's just like in this position and he's curled. This is the MMA fight where the ref would normally call it, right? Like the guy's not fighting back; he's just kind of surviving,
hanging in there. Yeah.
So for us as commentators, a little bit silly. We're like, well, what did they do from here? I guess live 10 more minutes. He's doing the goblet, sure.
Viper's pulling some of those siege tanks. It seems like those two siege tanks in the back are just going to be an annoying position for Cham to break, and this is the reality. He doesn't need to right now. He's already killing, like you said, key units, so he doesn't have to force his way up. Seems like he's going to try to this time, and the SCV is being pulled off the line. Signals that this may very well be the end? Question mark?
I mean, it is. It's just whether or not Vindicta knows it. Seriously, I'm not even being weird.
I know.
Not mining off that base. He's got 3 tanks. He's in a position where he's like, okay, I need more tanks, so that's why I'm living. But it takes longer to build. It's harder to replenish. He's spacing them out. So he'll hold this. Meanwhile, Cham's on 5 bases, and now the next switching to Broodlord just don't really have an answer. And the battle mech style he had has now become turtleneck off of a depleted income. Like he's mined off his natural, his third and low.
Third and fourth base, and the only saving grace for his fourth base is that he keeps losing his SCVs, so it's actually not mined out yet. Not exactly the saving grace you want to hear usually.
No.
Finally getting some counter damage done. Kills off 5 workers, maybe? Yeah, 5 workers on this side of the map. Like you said, it's playing from behind in this situation. It's already going to be hard to come back at this point, so everything that Vindicta does, it's just going to look silly.
Scans, sees the corruptors, and actually Cham's so confident that, alright, we can also see the Broodlords, Morphs, what is that?
16.
12.
Or 12?
12.
Not bad. And now the Death March begins as Cham makes his way across the map with the ever so slow Broodlords. Vindicta going to start up 3 Thors and a Viking. I think he has a reactor on that starport too. That is, not sure if that's actually still going to be enough though.
And here's the thing, you can go ahead and cultivate an army that maybe it responds to the 14 or so Broodlords that are there. Cham has such a massive bank. He could even, if he wanted to, he could be prepping his soldiers right now, but he's not going to. But the return will be 200 Roach Hydra Viper again. And then what, you have like 6 Thors and 8 Vikings. This is all hypothetical. Let's say he survives
if
that.
those Thors survive.
Exactly. So
this is, well, Vindicta gonna do another one of these Hellion run-bys. No actual drones at this base. He just kind of view because they're transferring, but not gonna catch them. All the Hellions end up going down, so that's just a few less Hellions to deal with the Broodlord Broodlings. And they're almost there. They're almost to this side of the map. And Vindicta is floating over his main base to try and become a 5th. I think that is where Cham's gonna finally lay down the law.
good angle over here. He knows that the 12 is from 3 o'clock station had something floating towards it that did not get established. So this is going to be the point of interest where the 4th base is, and hopefully you are a Vindicta fan, where the 5th base is going to be tempted to be had. So Cham circling around out there. He now is approaching 7K bank, by the way. 3,000 gas. He's got a massive economy.
Yeah, that is a full Remax right there.
Yes.
Losing his entire army.
Several times over.
Yeah. Hellions are running on by. There are a total of 3 drones to kill at this base. And actually, yeah, the Broodlords are going to divert their attack angle to go defend versus 3 Hellions. Those Hellions do back up and fear for their lives.
Yeah, and they're buying time somehow. I'm not sure what Cham's waiting on, because he's absolutely maxing. Like, you're not waiting for a bigger bank, so there's no upgrades finishing up here. He's going to add a couple of infestors. This actually becomes in a weird way, the only chance that Vindicta has is he too is now maxed out. He somehow limped himself to that position. But Cham's got nowhere else to go but forward, and hopefully he's not going to chase like 5 Hellions or something like that because you gotta go.
Yeah, this is kind of turning into Goku telling Frieza, hey, you know, I want to fight you at full power. Let's do this. I'm going to shatter your confidence.
Yeah. Gotta get that reference.
That was a good shot.
That's the Dragon Ball, that's the Dragon Punch 1, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. See, if there's
People say
one...
I'm not very hip.
There's only one kind of show that I can probably out-meme you on. Oh yeah, Kira.
At Kira. A-T-K-I-R-A.
No.
About a man and a woman on a scooter bike. It's pretty good.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Quite fitting for the...
It's a terrible fighting. I don't know what anyone's thinking here.
Yeah, Cham's Broodlords are just going to go completely untouched because there's only Siege Tanks that did decide to siege up and try and deal with the Hydras at the front line, but then they end up friendly firing each other. There's the Broodlings. The Thors still survive, and Vindicta is actually going to just maybe back up and build up a little bit more. He did manage to establish another one of these bases.
Yeah, but as the others are mining out. He has no bank. He's producing. He's going to be able to remax, but he's living paycheck to paycheck at this point in time right now. He is a too real. Fine.
Did he? I'm actually amazed. He's gotten up to +3 weapons and +2 armor.
Yeah.
With just one armory.
He's got a big boy army. He's gotten there. It's just Cham's. This is interesting. It's
He's
like
patient.
Patient's a word for it. It's definitely a word for it. He was hitting 10k minerals, and he did just lose like 40 supply and had to remake it, and still has more gas than before that. His economy is so stupid right now. So spread your Broodlords, put some stuff in front of them so the Thors can't get on top. There's no tank down here either, by the way. Bungle it and just end the game. And abduct too if you need.
Okay, here we go. Broodlords finally making some progress in making their way over to the mineral line. Broodlords a little bit clumped up. The Vipers starting to go for some pulls, trying to get on top of those Thors, pulling them in to range of maybe some of those Broodlords, but
He's not using the AoE anti-air, by the way. I guess he would.
Where have you
It's
been?
fine to be clumped. The Abduct here are really good. These are all units that can basically not be replaced. You can see the supply of Vindicta dropping.
yep.
Even as he's making more stuff, he just can't afford it. Actually, he's going Ghost here, but good luck with him.
I feel like the Ghost almost at this point, you need a lucky nuke to turn this game on.
Probably a couple.
Can a
Now
Broodlord survive a nuke? I wasn't sure if Colossus survived a nuke. Finally, Fortress is going to go down with a total of 41 kills. That's going to be another base sniped off. Cham,
That's why we gotta stop it from happening.
going to recycle.
There's the one Ghost, 2 Ghosts.
I think it sniped the Corruptor.
Yeah.
They then got transfused back up. And here we go. Some blinding clouds being thrown down on top of the Thors. Each one of these Thors being picked off. Like you said, Jeff, these are not going to be replaced. Even with the Thors focus firing down these Broodlords, only a few of them end up falling. And in the end, it isn't Vindicta that's going to end up falling. GG.
I'm not trying to be silly. He died like that. And he was putting up a fight that's nice, but StarCraft does kind of get to these weird situations where, yes, you have an army, yes, you're mining. So for a lot of people, like, well, it's the spirit of the game, you should keep fighting. And I believe in that. That's absolutely correct. I'm not like maligning him for staying in this. It's just, it is a funny situation because there is so few things that he could do to win from there. It literally takes Cham helping him by bunching everything up, and then, like you said, a nuke or like
Yeah.
something.
It
weird.
requires a mistake. It's not just on you anymore. It's also a little bit on your opponent.
It's like literally the resources it would take to push out onto the creep and to stop one of the like 5 fresh bases he was mining off of 80 drones is hard to imagine. So hopefully in this game, Vindicta, if he does go the route of a timing attack, does damage so that his transition is not exposing the soft underbelly as bad as this game did. Because he's good. We've seen some level of play from him. I mean, he was holding on, kinda, while facing a 7 or 8k bank, 80 supply difference. His mech is obviously very good.
And that entire game going that long was off the back of, as you said, a timing attack that happened at the 6-minute mark, the 5.5-minute mark, with Marauders that had concussive
4 drones.
shells. 4 drones killed. With
0. No, you said 0.
Oh no, sorry, it was 0 drones killed. He killed maybe a couple of the queens or something.
Yeah.
So it was 3 Marauders, a medevac, and a bunch of Hellions that did virtually no real economic damage. So he was playing from behind from that point on. If you can get to one of those games, maybe from a situation where he's not playing from behind, then maybe he has a good shot there.
Yep, like that.
We're always ready.
Thank you guys for joining us. It's been a lovely day. We had a really contentious European group at the beginning of the day, I would say, with some good results there. We'll talk about that after this broadcast, of course. And tomorrow, we're still doing a whole nother doubly. It's another group of Europe, another group of the Americas. Is Neve playing tomorrow?
I believe Neve is in fact playing.
This is the final round of 32, right? Like, or we wrap it up tomorrow.
No, there's 8 groups. It's 4 times 8.
No, don't ask me that question. Like, I know the answer to that, but I still will not answer it.
All right, starting up here at the top left, we have the blue Terran player is Vindicta. Dust. Starting down here in the bottom right, from Chivo is the red Zerg player, Champ.
The advance outside of the group, making everything normal. We've had no upsets in the results so far. Upsets in games.
Yeah. Got an early pull over here from Champ, though. I think it was a 14 pull or something along those lines. Gas taken right behind it, so looking to get some damage done. Command center on the low ground. Vindicta goes to the SCV scout, though. This is huge. Well, is it a scout? I think this is the normal path, actually, isn't it? For now. We'll see. Making its way across the map. Actually, just trying to go.
Neither do I. I'm laughing.
I feel like usually I'll see it. That's always one of those things, right? I feel like I see it on the ground half the time, and the other half the time I don't. Never sure. But he's going to move into the main base, can see a finished spawning pool, gas being mined, and immediately think, okay, well, there are your lings. I just got to have my Reaper in position.
Yeah, it was kind of, you know, it gets into high ground CC. That's all fine and good. I want to see if Champ does some fake Aruski. That getting scouted, you don't anticipate getting any real damage in there. So far, no. Zergs have done a good job of this. It used to be in the past that if you, like, quote unquote, forced a pool first or something like that, it was like, oh my god, the Zergs so far behind. Not really. They're kind of comfortable with the later time. Transfusions and queens kind of making up the difference. It's okay.
Yep. 4 more lings on the way, though, and he did pull out a gas as well, so he's not going to be throwing down like a Baneling nest or going up and teching up to something else right now. 2 more drones on behind it, though, so it's just kind of interesting that after he knew he got scouted and his 4 lings are across the map, he still decided to make a few more.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to have speed. So if a couple of Hellions start to come out, it's not bad to pick them off like that. Reaper's just like, okay, he's not coming over here. I'll just go across the map.
Reaper pokes on forward, sees, okay, I don't see any lings down up here at the natural. Maybe it's safe to start moving that base over and also swap those add-ons. The worst thing in the world is when try and swap your add-ons and the lings are right beneath them. But 4 lings gonna try and swing on in. No, actually, they're looking for the Reaper, maybe. Reaper comes on forward, gonna see normal looking base, and I think he also did spot up that 3rd base. So after seeing that early pull, sometimes Zergers can maybe do something a bit cheeky, but hey, Reaper gets picked off, not going off any lings, so not bad.
Pretty okay back and forth. I mean, obviously the Reaper is nice for the Hellions. That would have been kind of cool. But at the same time, that was his first time out on the map, except for the SCV as well. So it is important to see that, okay, he's going for 3rd. There's not ropes going across the map.
Well, the 8 lings, if they are well split up, and it seems like they are decently well split up, maybe trying to jump in, get a Hellion, not able to do so. Goes after the Marine, gets that.
I mean, it kills the guy that's killing the Overlord, I guess. So never mind, not as silly, but he does lose 7 of the 8 lings.
Yeah. And there is going to be Stim on the way, so Vindicta not going to be going into the mech memes this game. And that also means that Overlord's life still probably not long for this world. But Jam will get a scout on that, and seeing the tech lab on the barracks is all he really needs to see. If he saw it.
Yeah. I mean, with where it is now, it's really nice. The kind of funny thing is it still could have been Hellions coming off the factory, and then so far barracks for him to represent Marauders, but at this point in time, we know that it's more than that, and he's seen it.
All right, the rest of the Hellions making their way to the front lines. That's going down that ramp. But a Roach Horn being added on this game for Jam.
Coming in on a rescue mission.
I think it's buying time. The Marine no longer attacking that Overlord. Yeah, just focusing on the Hellions, trying to pull those back to deal with the Lings. And that actually, in and of itself, is really nice, because now the Queens get even more space to spread that creep. Get it going and give themselves a lot more space for that third base.
You know, Pig's favorite unit would be Roaches. Not seeing drones. A lot of Lings. I think Cham's going to go for that classic Roach Ling Ravager. Emphasis on the Ravagers. And, you know, Vindicta's out here. He's got a chance of seeing it coming. How well is he set up for it? He's going to have a tank coming out. Minimum bio. It's not the stuff of dreams, I don't think.
The Lings, funny enough, are also pushing back the Hellions from scouting out the Roaches. Roaches start to reveal themselves. Sees a handful of them. He's going to be reading off of that, and is that enough?
Man, the kind of question is, did he
He saw 4.
No.
He had vision of 4.
Did he see him? Yeah. He's not adding bunkers. I don't know. It's tough.
One Banshee is going to be helpful. Siege Tank also popping up and being on the ramp.
Banshee's a big deal. I love this attack, by the way, with 4 Queens and a drop lord. Thing to add to it.
That's a really difficult thing to place to defend to. Oh boy, Banshee nearly dodges out of the Corrosive Bile. Corrosive Bile going to be on cooldown now, so can't go after that Siege Tank either. Starts to jump on it, gets a couple of them down. That's that guy.
But behind this is drones. So the Banshee alone, you can see the strength of that. A lot of times people talk about this. And I was almost wondering, as the attack was developing, would he add a second Banshee? But no, he's gone towards the medevacs. And just the one Banshee shooting Ravage really cuts this attack into pieces.
You can see that Cham going for so many Roaches, getting up the Ravagers. There was a lot of gas invested into that attack. So it delayed things like his lair, and now he's going to be facing off against the push here from Vindicta with Stim and Combat Shields nearing completion, plus 1 weapon nearing completion. He's going to have a Bailing Nest on the way, but oh, actually interesting. Anti-armor mist being used on the Queens.
He's going for this. Hellions and Bio Marines coming in. They're on top of this base.
Not a lot here for Cham.
No, not a lot coming out either, I don't think. It's 10 more Roaches.
Yeah, and
No speed, though.
yeah, Roaches aren't going to have speed. They're not going to have any upgrades whatsoever. Bailing Nest is also still finishing up. Queens finally have their anti-armor missile expire. The Queens on the back focus wearing down these medevacs. I think he loses one of them. The other one's starting to get a little bit lower. Cham is starting to push this back.
He will defend, and it's because he's actually banking money, which has got to be a little bit of a thorn in the side of him, because after this, he's going to have money to spend for music, rope or anything like that. Good defense, basically off the Queens getting to a back position and transfusing each other and staying alive, waiting for those 10 extra Roaches to come out and be enough to push them back. But behind this, Vindicta did take his own third, which is kind of a breath of fresh air in the previous game. It was hard for him to get out and this time he got the down.
Vindicta in the mech series, he's going to go for a lot of those Hellion run-bys and stuff. If you're going for bio, it's going to be all about that drop play, moving in along the bottom side. And this might actually work out a little bit better just because it's not the creep spread exactly going super far south, so it might be able to catch Cham a bit off guard. Catches Cham off guard with 2 of the Queens getting picked off.
Roach is still coming out in force, though, so you want to keep your eye on that tank production, because right now it's mostly Marines. You can see one Marauder getting queued up at one tank. Now, that's quite good.
Marines starting to move forward into the main base, picking off a couple
Where have you
more
been?
of these Queens, or at least one of them. Focus fires down the second one, and he's going to sack a few Marines for it. Scouts out the Infestation Pit as well, and that is immediately going to be a tip-off. Hey, everyone's starting to think about that Hive Tech.
Well, Hive Tech, maybe Swarm Host. Something that these guys are doing.
Yeah, how do you feel about Swarm Host versus Bio? Because I feel like I've seen a lot of Swarm Host versus
Energy Hive, I think you're right. The Viper plays quite abundant, very good here.
Sensor Tower coming on up here for Vindicta. It's going to give him a little bit more advance notice, but I think Roach run bys and that kind of stuff. 2-2 also finishing up over here. So he's going to try and make his push along this north side. There's a lot of creep spread that he has to get through to make his way over to that third or fourth base. But this is also going to kind of act as a way to potentially defend his third, unless these rocks get knocked down. Then we're going to have a chance to counterattack.
Going up here. Could be a pretty big surround.
Oh.
Tanks are going to get exposed, I think, flank.
Super exposed, and the Roaches and Ravagers even winning versus just the Marines on the south side. That was terrible for Vindicta.
Yeah.
That could not have gone worse.
And the Dorito cannon being expelled there, excuse me, means that it's just that much talk by quite significant margin. The production tab is building 2 depots, but only just now. No, never mind. Lost enough to go ahead and fall below that.
Doing a little bit of a favor there. Corrosive Vial is going to be able to come down on top of this Bioforce. They've got to either back up or forward. Medevac's actually going down instead. Cham trying to bust his way up a ramp against siege tanks. Doesn't quite actually kill the siege tanks either, so he's losing a lot, but he's also killing a lot.
He's just killing more. Going up the ramp was a bit expensive, but he can afford it. He's on 4 bases. He is making the Terran make the hard choice of picking up what they had at the third base, and they're losing units. And that's the nice thing about Roaches. If you're fighting Marines, unless there's some huge X-Factor number of Roaches or tanks behind that, you're probably trading pretty good, at least. They do fall off later, but at this stage, the Roach Ravager composition is king. It's really good.
Siege tank sieging up just in the nick of time to try and help take on this fight. Only a single Corrosive Vial goes down on that siege tank, so it is going to survive. It can maybe be repaired back up. I believe another medevac makes way along the north side, but it's even got to work its way through some creep, giving Cham a bit more time to react as he also continues to push on in, disabling this command center once again.
Yep, exactly right. Every drop is getting some damage in, but it's having to walk over creep, so it's being spotted. Picking up and waiting to come back later. I do like this move, though, and you have to kind of stick to this, right? Like, if he's not harassing, if he's not dropping or something, then he's just going to get clobbered by a maxed-out Zerg army over and over again.
Yeah, just buying space is the only thing that Vindicta can really focus on doing right now. Like, gets up that economy once again, but Cham getting up the Spire means that medevac harassment might be a little bit harder. The Hive Tech is also done, so Vipers are now an option. Those siege tanks not going to be quite as useful, and heck, even just pulling in medevacs that get off into the distance like this will be an option as well.
3-3 finishing up, though. I will say that. Look at the upgrades. 2 Carapace and 1 Melee are queued up here. 3-3 is a big deal.
Yep, and hey, Focus Fire's down. The Greater Spire going to completely reset that. Of course, they have to cancel there.
Not bad.
And doing some damage over here. He even got a Liberator joined in the fray, so the Marines not just totally by their lonesome. Jones almost getting hit by the Corrosive Vials, but dodging out of that. Medevac just buying some time, like you were saying before. Doing a great job of that.
Yeah, be a little bit critical of Cham. He's just now remaking that Spire that we saw lost a second ago. He could probably do well by like making a Hydroden or something, because otherwise, by only staying on this, it's still okay. I still think Cham's way ahead, but more drops, more harass, tanks coming out 2 at a time, Liberator's starting to come out here. If Vindicta can establish his own 4 bases and start to push towards the 5th base, and Cham is still just running around with Roaches and Ravagers, that is the scenario where a Terran player could win.
Yeah, and not even super well upgraded Roaches and Ravagers. +3 armor is on the way, sure, but like you said, 3-3 has been finished up for Vindicta for a little bit now.
Medevac's just not dying, so they're killing 3 or 4 things. You can't see they're picking up and doing it again.
And Vindicta has not had to deal with an attack from Cham for a solid 2 to 3 minutes now. You're seeing what he's able to do when he's just able to keep Cham totally on the defensive. He reestablishes his base. He's got more of these Liberators coming out. He's got Ghosts on the way, ready to deal with any kind of fire attack, anticipating that Cham is still thinking about that.
I like that. It doesn't have to be 10 Professors. A couple of Funkles on a big Bioforce can take a fight that otherwise would have been equal or lesser, and they get a trick.
Yeah, but here is the big push out here from Vindicta, finally putting an end to just the mild drop harassment and saying, okay, time to actually kill one of these hatcheries. Sims down the ramp is going to find that hatchery, and the investors are not quite here. Two of them out on the map right now. And if they find this bio, catch them by surprise, that could be really scary spot here for Vindicta's army.
Yep. Some more tech switches kind of happening here too, by the way. I didn't notice this happening, but Baneling's speed is there. Vipers are actually out, and the Greater Spire is coming to completion. So Cham held on, which sounds weird given how far ahead he was, but he's held on to this point in time. And now we're going to have the big fight. He's going for a big surround. The Bioforce only aided by 2 medevacs, huge concave of roaches, but the tanks on the high ground packing quite the wall. Going up that ramp would be very cost ineffective as Cham does, quote unquote, win the fight, if you will, but I mean, it's hard to even call it that. We actually have a nuke coming in here too.
Yeah, nuke coming in the natural, and Cham seemed like he noticed for a second. He is going to pull all of his workers away. Greater Spire going to take some damage from that. So we end up seeing it come down. Greater Spire at almost 25% of its hit points. And the drop still staying alive on the north side. There's a drop in the main base. Vindicta is pulling Cham apart.
Yeah, not bad.
You're gonna right-click that down. Your corruptors weren't done, so you couldn't morph in the Broodlords in time. He just taps out. GG. And Vindicta, he pulled him apart. I didn't.
If I hit rewind, something about this mod, it actually doesn't show the armies. It's too bad.
If you hit B, it'll rewind at 10 seconds. Because right when the game ends, it'll just fade.
No, it's not even showing army. Okay, there's the army. This is not Idra level GG, but it's bad.
It's bad, but yeah, I understand.
It's bad.
I understand the tap out a little bit. He had a bunch of corruptors just made that.
7. They can chase down medevacs to stop the drop harass.
That's true.
He has an overwhelmingly. Is that
Yeah.
when you leave? All right.
Yeah, maybe he just wants a mental reset. That game was in his favor to gradually spiraling more and more out of his control for a lot of it.
Super frustrating. Absolutely.
So the mental reset may be part of what he was looking for, but I do agree with you. He was definitely starting to get into that kind of weird spot where he did have some things he could make work, but just chose not to.
I don't think, I mean, you know, it's our job to talk about these things, so we can just put it out there and you guys can have your own opinions, but like, no, it is a mental reset, but it was premature and it is out of like anger of sorts. It is a frustrating situation in the game, but Vindicta got away with one there. Like he could very easily still lose that game if the corruptors do shut down all the harass that was happening. And the ground army, which is already established, is at 178 supply with 3K, 1K bank, or even more than 1K, I thought. He very reasonably goes on from there and builds the army he wants. So it's tough.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, we move on to Automaton for game number 3. It's going to be on top of the blue Terran player that we start. It is Vindicta, Team Dust Gaming. And his opponent's spawned down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. The red Zerg player is OSC Elite, or sorry, Chivo's Cham.
And, you know, not to beat the dead horse too much, to go back to your point, as a former player and just people that's been around players, I don't know that there's much of a mental reset when you leave a game, and then 15 seconds later you're in the next one. There's not.
That's fair.
You could ask for a couple minutes, I'm sure the admins would give you to get really mad to get up and walk around, but 99% of players, the mentality, which I would argue is actually a fairly unhealthy one, whenever they lose, they're like, go, 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 get in the next one, go, go, go. And they'll start like yelling at the moderator or their mods too. They're like, yeah, let's go, come on, why are we waiting? Let's go.
Almost like the rage queue on the ladder.
Which is a real thing. I experience that myself all the time, but you know, we're speculating. Maybe Cham is totally fine. Maybe he absolutely is comfortable with the decision to have left that last game. That is his right as a player. I think, like I said, a lot of people would probably say he was behind. I personally almost don't even want to say that. And if he was, it was like, for me, 50-50 or if not slightly in favor of Cham. But it was frustrating. It was the second time his Greater Spire was denied. Those drops were getting a lot of work done. There was Liberators picking up drones, so maybe he thought he was more behind than he was, or he was just sick and tired of Vindicta's harassment.
We'll see what happens on Automaton if Vindicta... I mean, that bio style definitely worked out really well.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing great with that. I'd love to just see that again. I know that I see a lot of mech on this map, but that bio style was just so effective versus Cham in the late game.
His level of play is great. you know, like I said, we said this yesterday, and I'll say it again, but like, we kind of meme during the North Americas, especially in the round of 32. There's usually a pretty almost unhealthy mix of like Scarlet and then someone that is making an appearance, but they're just levels below these people, so everything's kind of silly. That's not been the case today, not really at all. I mean, even Demi, I think, could be fairly happy with his performance, but Vindicta here has been the real shock of this group, where it's a ladder guy, he's got a bit of a spotted past, and yet here he is going toe-to-toe with Elder and Cham and doing all right.
Right, Reaper making its way forward and trying to get little bits of harassment done, work its way up into the main base, because Tauntaun, nice map for those Reapers. You got a nice cliff edge to try and jump up into that main base. Queen, you just try and position itself to deny any additional scouting information. Not that there's too much to scout right now. Well, it's going to be the pretty typical 1-1-1 setup over here for Vindicta. I opted to go for anything kind of a mix-up of 2-1-1, because I think only really Koreans do that anymore. For now, Cham getting up Zergling speed, pulling out of gas, taking a pretty quick third base. One thing I've got to compliment him on is his creep spread has been really solid. Vindicta has looked pretty strong in the late game. It's sort of the mid-game.
Three enemies present. Don't get careless.
Hasn't really been able to get as much done. Like his run-bys, his timing attacks, his creep start speed up in the early game. Not really there.
Take the enemy down.
Almost half from behind today. Done a great job of tracking back. But yeah,
That was a close one.
He was actually behind. He had his army clobbered over attacking Demi's expansion, and he actually got counterattacked with a bunch of most of his SCVs, and yet he won that game. So impressive late game play, which is actually usually the opposite, right? Like most Garen players are strong early, weaker mid, and then fall off late.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice little difference there, and Vindicta can have a good start for this game, and then he might be in a really good spot moving into the late game, and maybe lock it down even earlier. On in, scouts out the main base.
3 enemies present. Don't get careless.
Guys, or even scans actually. Wow, he is paranoid about something maybe coming.
Well, that's the Cham profile. You rescue
Take
your
the
lowest
enemy
point,
down.
Lings and roaches in your base. In fact, that's a lot of
One more.
2 more. Very suspicious.
And 4 Spore Crawlers coming down. He did spot out the Banshee, and I guess maybe he's still thinking about the Hyperflight Rotor Banshees from earlier?
Well, it's just slightly more than 1 spore per base, so I'm not worried. It's the 8 queen.
Well, yeah, it's both of them together. That's kind of funny. Well, Banshee could deal a little more damage.
Shows up. They can fire. Yeah.
Cham is going to be happy about that, and he can safely move on to his lair attack, get up his Baneling Nest, and not really much more about massive Banshee harassment. And he even moves back into the Overlord, sees single Marine that moves away at it, but most importantly sees Tech Lab no longer on the starport. I don't have to worry about any more Banshees. I can just chill back.
Powerful enemy has
There's
been
about to finish.
detected.
I'm kind of almost holding my breath. The double Evo, though, however, kind of suggests that we're probably not going to see a Nidus one. Maybe Spire play. I've seen on the game as well.
And a little bit of damage, but there's no oversteer out just yet. And Banshee's out of hand. Oh,
I've been waiting for this.
I can do it.
maybe I think that I will be.
Here's our chance for an all-out attack. Throw me at him. One enemy remains.
Yeah, I remember. When the Ultras had a little bit more armor. And
Our Are you all right?
More, but still
Concubine is in danger.
Don't overdo it.
shut down in unsuspecting time. So Scorpo actually zones out the medevac a little bit. Instead, Vindicta goes low ground, catches a bunch of the queens, no transfuses coming off.
Stay sharp.
So just now, loses one of the queens.
Concubine is
Pick
in
up.
danger.
Medevac
Don't
get out.
overdo it.
Nice move.
How do you like to do me?
Player. And it is going to be high.
Here's our chance for an all-out attack. Ready, Adam.
Style pretty bad, especially in the game 3 here for the decision to move on. Going even to highs a little bit risky, right? Like last game, the big game 3 side was dropped, so I would have thought a nice Spire would be cool here, and that synergizes well with the hive, with Broodlords if you really want to, or Corruptors with Ultras is my preferred combination as opposed to just Ultras.
Well, for now, he's just going to have Zerglings in position to try and deal with some of the drops, but they held that bottom side of the map. Very for Vindicta to get up to 2, so hey, I got the use of them. Broke a bunch of wings. Held up to 2 a few wings for the Hellions that weren't really doing much anyway.
I'm so happy for a minute there, Ruby. I like that.
Whenever I see Hellbats getting beat up by Zerglings, it's like, okay. I know that the Hellbats are getting some damage done, but it just looks silly.
A lot of Marines, a lot of medevacs here out there, and I'm kind of starting to keep my eyes glued on that production damage. A little bit curious as to what's going on. And it is going to be an Ultras Cavern. Yeah, I would have loved to Spire right now. But he's just gonna, this might be the old school, just like show up with 6 soldiers and a whole bunch of lings, and man, if
One
If you can
enemy.
afford it, you definitely have a few resources available. Maybe save
Akihiko is unconscious.
2-2 as well, I was going to say, would be really nice.
That was
Especially
easy.
the armor upgrade really gives those ultras an extra little oomph.
oh yeah.
Vindicta going to be setting up his 4th base though, has some time transform that into a planetary fortress. It's a lot more difficult to break. With this many banelings, that also can just be a bit of a concern. Jump on it, doesn't matter what kind of damage you have.
Look how passive and defensive Champ has been by the way. He's got his army split into several segments. He's just looking to defend and hold on to Ultras. And then I imagine he'll turn on the gas.
Yes,
Become very
I found something cool.
Yeah, it's kind of funny too because he
I
is,
just found
like you
something.
said,
I'll
doing
give it
this
to you
off
later.
Of no real form of anti-air besides just the queens. He's finally got some Vipers now. He's going to pair well with the Ultras as they can blinding cloud and kind of pull any of those high-value units further forward. But I want Bioforce on the south side of
Okay,
the map.
then I'll look around some more.
Anything close to the same
No.
damage.
Be careful.
Last game.
There are 4
Now the
enemies.
Vipers are going to go ahead and start working away at these medevacs.
Good enough. One guy. Bombed up. There's one extra.
Down. And that'll be nice anti-air. And the Vipers, of course, aren't just other things as well. They're quite strong and they grab and move around the Liberators. So that is the spot where you can dive, defend, and counterattack.
Do it again. 2 remain.
Because you don't, I mean, the thing about Ultras, they're good, they move fast now with their upgrade, they hit hard, they hit armor, but they just don't get around
Stay
stuff very
sharp.
well. They're not good at attacking
Just 2
bases.
more to
They
go.
actually block them up. But right now I'm looking at Vindicta and those are cool. I need more. More of that. I need to go over the other base.
Funny enough, that the other bases where Champ is
Do
going
it
to
again.
he might still move up the ramp now.
Akihiko has defeated an enemy.
And he would put him into a bit of a concave. Steve Shanks.
Concubine is in danger.
Of course,
One more.
left-hand side, top-hand side. Looking to try and poke. He also has a massive force on the bottom. Thought it was maybe going to try and censor that force. Decides to pull back and move into one end.
Thanks. I can do it.
That's not the ability to just pull those
Here's our
liberators
chance
out
for
of
an
the
all-out
game. Suddenly they're not really doing
Ready,
as much.
Adam.
Banelin's come rolling on the go, not even getting on the snipe immediately, and they are pretty much all
That
dead.
was a close one.
Supplies are kind of even though, and again, this is where the Ultras are funny because like when everything else dries up, Ultras by themselves die pretty for free. Does kill 15 SCVs, but the counterattack's pretty strong here, at least in theory. He's going to pick up and leave. Getting that planetary was nice. Getting the 15 SCVs, that was nice too.
There's a couple more drones with Liberator or Deny some mining, but yeah. Well, at the end of the day, like you said, killing the 4th base is about as much as Cham accomplishes, and I guess also resetting the ghost count a bit. The Ultras have a bit more viability.
You really got to step for Ultras. The tanks are kind of clumped up, the ghosts were all clumped up. Like, Banelings were getting pretty big hits on a lot of stuff there. And that's on the Terran play, that's on Vindicta. Like, if you spread out, you have the tanks behind various different depots and stuff like that. And then it's taking Banelings and Ultras to kill trade out better. You're never going to lose that flat.
2 enemies protected.
But if you can trade better, that's what you actually need.
It is interesting now that he is finally adding in disruptors, and he's getting +1 fire attack and not getting up in greater right now.
This isn't good. Your
Sounds
health.
great. If he's going to go Liberator, he'll abduct. Because that was the thing too, right?
Be
He
careful.
abducted,
You're
but there was actually no
severely
Queens
injured.
or Hydras there, so the Liberators didn't die. They're just out of position. Now with Corruptors, they all die.
He's going to try to get some damage done, but either Medevac is going to get chased off into the
can do
corner.
it.
Cam really not looking up pursuit on the line. I think he's kind of had enough from that last game. He's down to the very corner. Finally pulled back.
2 enemies remain. Don't get careless.
Where does Medevac even go? Right here. Oh, Liberator sneaks up, but the entire army just walks straight past him.
Talk about is in danger. Talk about is unconscious.
Couple
Can
of
you
ghosts
revive her?
trying to get some snipes off. They do soften up some of the Ultras, but honestly, wow, the Bailey will try and go into the planetary, but not actually finishing the job. They do go after the SCV. Cham now sitting about 30 or 40 supply. Killing off another one of those bases.
Talk about has defeated an enemy.
Not quite the main base, but
Love to see the Corruptors clean up these Liberator, excuse me. That's basically all that Vindicta's holding on to. This drop, okay, whatever, slows down.
oh wow, that base is pretty low.
Or not, yeah, I don't know what the Corruptors
Please hit. This thing won't give up.
Still nice corruptors. Still running around and shooting up drops and stuff. They may have actually pulled back to deal with the drop.
but it would have been nice to do a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Liberator counts kind of high.
Yeah, it's up to 8 or 9.
This thing won't give up. 1 enemy remains.
Still those Liberators with the weapons.
You have the potential to grow even stronger.
Yep. He doesn't have a significant number, and that means that being able to kite the Ultras is really hard. He's hurting himself as much as he is hurting the Ultras when he stands and runs away.
Yeah. Another Ghost trying to move in over here for a nuke. There is Overseer coming on by. Going off on that. Shut that down, and I think the champ is ready for another round of action.
Weird spot to fight, Ravi. Weird spot. What is he doing here? Why is he holding that? Okay.
This really wide open area to try and hold on to. Yeah. All of the Liberators just immediately get pulled and sniped off by the Corruptors, like you said originally. And this time, there is nothing that's really fallen back now. Orbital, not a planetary.
Cham is marching his way on past this group stage. He will take second place, which is fine. Survives Vindicta here, puts up a pretty darn good performance. But we're seeing a little bit of the green gills there. Like, why are you on the low ground? Why are you trying to seize that spot? And not quite setting up the Ultras. And GG will be called out as Cham goes 2-1 and makes his way into the second group stage.
Congratulations to Cham. He definitely had to work for it a bit today. Facing off versus Telazor and that kind of scary mech style. That was really cool to see. And even versus Vindicta's Bio. Had a bit of a tough day, but he closed it out at the end. Yeah. He's going to advance on and continue our, I guess, current stance where even though he's kind of individual upsides in games or series,
3 enemies present. Don't get careless.
Yeah.
They end up with what we expected.
Exactly. The most memorable thing for me
Take the enemy down.
Gillis. Putting up good fights and showing some action, which has me excited for future qualifications and stuff like that. So, good luck in the future. But it is Cham that, I want to see moving on. He's a guy that can take on, takes off, and hopefully show a higher level play.
Keep an eye out for players like even if they're not playing WCS.
All right, good job.
But a couple of the other awesome
That was a close one.
performances throughout the past couple of days of WCS Winter. You can see over here, this was Group A, I believe, from the European segment. We had Thermal and Rail advancing on out. Goblin and Blind fortunately get knocked out. But still a really awesome performance from Rail. I remember that was one of the big kind of results there. But Special and I think it was M. Canning making it out of Group A for the America section. M. Canning, he was one of the, I wouldn't say upsets, but he was one of the kind of surprise things where it could have been one of the other people. And I don't think would have been massively surprised.
My turn.
Eric advanced or two.
Still alive.
If any one of those I would have been, oh.
Only one more.
Now I don't have to wonder. Jeez, how would Rubby get that?
That's the last one.
Now I know.
I'm so glad we established that. B, that was yesterday's broadcast.
Let's go.
European kind of good old Mana and Hero mode.
Finish it off.
Help me.
It still have Skillus. Jadone gave his all, but
That was a close one.
not advance on. And from the Americas segment, we also had two awesome players, Scarlet and Epic. Although I know Epic had a bit of an interesting series versus Expect. In fact, he messaged me immediately after the series and said, you know, Expect was the one that deserved it. Happy at least.
Three enemies. They appear to
Congratulations
strike.
to those players.
One more. Take the enemy down.
That is going to do it for us.
Okay,
today,
everything's going
because
according to
we've also
plan.
finished up today's group. In case you missed the European segment,
Jeez Louise.
we had a Laser and Hearthstone advance on, and I have to say, somewhat more one-sidedly. They definitely dominated their group over, I believe it was Starbuck and Bradoff. And from the American segment, as we just saw, we already know that Kelazur and Cham advanced on. Vindicta putting up a fight, but unable to advance on out, and same for Demi. But that is actually it, as that is all of the results, and production is incapable of throwing more results for me to cover unless they want to throw up GSL results, which would be a big spoiler. And Jeff, we know that you need spoilers. Cool.
Doing great.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got one more broadcast tomorrow before we go on a little bit of a break and resume the broadcast on Thursday of next week. But tomorrow we got awesome players such as me. Be sure to check that out at the same time as always. But until then, see you tomorrow.
Two enemies detected. Take the enemy down. Just one more. That was a close one. A surprise attack. Prepare for battle. Take the enemy down.
I've been waiting for this. Okay, now! Okay, everything's going according to plan.
Three enemies present. Don't get careless.
My turn. It's still alive.
Why, you little...
Just 2 more to go.
Help me! Quick, defeated.
My turn.
Only one left.
Here's our chance. It's still alive.
Oh, this guy was dead.
Akihiko's in danger. Hang in there.
I understand this can be deceiving, but I feel confident right now.
Destruction.
Did it.
Two enemies.
That's the last one.
Take the enemy down. You have the potential to grow even stronger.
I'll just play what I'm comfortable with, honestly. Limit and break. Okay. Parental controls. Might have to say some of those.
Two powerful enemies have been detected.
Yeah, okay, this is fine. I guess field of view. I'm gonna go and for that one. Live.
Let's go!
Do it again!
I couldn't finish it off.
Help me!
No, my monitor support.
This thing won't give up!
It just says that when it is recommended on my monitor when I train. So I just did it that way. But I can go one step higher. Maybe I should change it.
Thanks!
My turn.
I don't fucking know. I might
You
do
do
it.
it!
Let's just play the
Defeat it!
see if this game.
Takeba's in danger! Be careful.
Okay, guys, you
Takeba
have
is
to
badly
memorize everything
injured.
here and then tell me how I ask, okay? Did I all memorize?
Thanks!
Let's go!
I can do it! Defeat it! Akihiko's in danger! Takeba is unconscious. Can you revive her?
Ready?
This isn't good. Akihiko's unconscious.
Oh, these are official. These are official. 5 out of 4. There's no way I have to.
Akihiko has defeated an enemy.
That's the last one.
Are they all PvP? Or 3? Oh, we're in America. The server, the land is America. Yes, I get it, man. I get it. Okay, let's be Northwest B2. This sounds like a decent server. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's down, motherfucker. Psychopath out of the Soju. This is
I've been waiting for
one
this.
solo. America loaded. Oh, it was very confusing. Very confusing. America!
This isn't good.
Fuck
Akihiko's
yeah.
unconscious.
Character.
Nice try.
Attack evaded. The enemy is
I've been
vulnerable.
waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. Well, I guess that's one way to do it. I
One
couldn't
enemy
finish it
remains.
off.
Okay. Loading surrounding area. Loading the rough.
I've been waiting for this. Well, I guess that's one way to do it. Goodness! Couldn't finish it off.
That was a close one.
Oh my god.
Yes! My skill level has increased.
Oh, this is my butt cheeks. Arm length.
Two enemies detected. Just one more. Take the enemy down. What a stunning victory.
Very sick. Fuck. What is happening? Okay.
One enemy detected. Strike first. Help me! This thing won't give up!
Let's go! Okay, everything's going according to plan.
Ah!
My skills have improved.
An assault by two enemies. Stand strong. Take the enemy down.
Why do you have
All right, good job. Okay, everything's going according to plan.
Okay. Okay. Oh god, why did I click this? Wait,
3 enemies present. Don't get careless.
sorry, wait a minute.
I can do it. This thing won't give up.
Just 2 more to go!
I can do it. I couldn't defeat it.
There you go for it.
Stay sharp. Here.
Nice try. My turn.
Akihiko has defeated an enemy. One more. Help me. I couldn't defeat Three enemies present. Don't get careless.
Just 2 more to go.
This thing won't give up. Yes, excellent attack. Just one more.
It's still alive.
That was easy.
What the fuck is this abomination? We got it. I like this one more. I like this one a lot more for some reason. Like a yellowish. This is the best. This used to be white. Lag. I mean, I said a number, and this is it. You cannot go against the laws. RNGs. Are you done in the turn? Yeah. What the fuck did I start? Fucking A. Lucci, Okabe, Gerard 90, Sergio, no, that's the, thank you very much. Thanks, I wanted to try sniping in this game, but it's 48.3 gig and that would take me 10 hours to make it literally on the internet. I'm fucking safe. Stream safe. This game's huge. Oh my god, they weren't playing with FPS. Oh my god, this is hopeless. Wait, is this a weapon? I thought this was my lunch. For all my belongings. Oh. where the shit lands. Hold E together. The interactable that the provides integrity is not collectible. Then why the fuck do you tell them together? I one-shot these trees. This weapon is OP. It has to be an instant kill. Got some wood, got some sticks. What is this? Oh. Oh my god, is this a fucking lag fiesta? Jesus. Yeah, I cannot gather this flower, but I can gather this flower. What? Is there a map? Huh. Sort of God of War bacon down here. Okay. Wait, why do I have this visible? And what is this? This is where I am. No, this is where I am. So wait. This is where I started. Gather with hands. I don't have any hands. I can't gather this shit.
This is Huawei Mate 20 Pro, the greatest smartphone we've ever created. With the intelligent camera, powerful processor, and a strong battery. Tested by
Train is coming. Oh, is this a train? Oh, did I walk by this train? Holy, I fucking did. I think I'm retarded. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the flower just to prove. I heard like a cougar.
Where have you been?
Is there a player doing these sounds? Why do the horses sound like they ride in my fucking creator?